welcome back to the second podcast, which is a conclusion of the first podcast, where we'll go out, look for those corners that were set back in the 1800s on the original surveys that were recorded at the General Land Office. And even though the corners we're looking for today were canceled on and weren't patented to these notes, there was a 20-year gap between the corrected notes and the original notes. So the chances of the corners being there are probable. So I think what we'll do is try and identify these corners, see how they fit with what is being occupied today, and maybe we can verify that the boundary lines of the original survey are where they were back 150 plus years ago. So follow me today and we'll track around in this rough country up in North Wise County and look for original corners, which is a rare but sometimes surprising find for surveyors today.
Just need to figure out where we're at right now. Oh, we got another 400 feet, 420 feet, 30 feet. We're almost on line, 5 degrees out. And one thing to remember, these are ground distances are given. I've made my data collector give us ground distance and not grid. But the bearings are still in grid. And grid bearings and bearings that are on those field notes are going to be different. Anyway, the grid distance to surface distance for a half a mile up my area is going to be about a quarter of a foot, 3/10 of a foot off. By the time you get a mile, you're going to be a half foot off more. Makes a big difference when doing large surveys like this. Get to the top of this hill where we have some satellite out of these trees. $21.67, and we're at 2092, so 70 feet and 4 degrees to the west. So probably down the bottom of that hill. And you got to remember, we're looking for a survey corner that was done in 1855, and here we are at 2013. It's either not there, the tree's dead, that it witnessed. Could be a number of things. Okay, that's a drop off. And there's a way down right there. And there's a way down right there, so again, if we were in rattlesnake season, that would not be done now. So, here we go. I'm going to go down this little slope right here. It's either going to be a treat, broken knees, and ankle surgeries later. Golly. And no way I'll do this in the summer. As a kid, I used to play around in this stuff up here. The house is about 3 miles south of here. And just love playing up in these rocks on the hill. This is kind of close to the area where, looks like the area where I grew up. Got another 100 feet down this wretched terrain. Let me make it back to the right. Sneezing on the edge here. Looks like animals have been going down this way. Curve it back this way. It is up in here. It should be protected enough from the elements. Which I don't know why they didn't kind of call these out. I wonder why I wear my hat. These branches don't feel good on your ears when it's 40 to 30 degrees outside. Alright, let's see where we're at. (22, 18, 21, 67, 3 degrees. Let's go back this way. And granted, this is going to be close to it. 2167. We're floating too. So I'm going to just get it where we are at grid bearing, and then just start my search. What I've been finding out here, everything's kind of long, which is typical. Bearing wise, we're close. 230. Gosh, that puts me right back up on that hill. Let's go right through that crevice there. Should make this exciting and go to a corner that I found previously. Alright. 22. 40 feet. Initialization has been gained. About 40 feet back. We'll go up that way. Copperheads. $21.70, so we're within 3 feet. 180, 179, 59. So right here is my search area. I'm gonna set my pole up and we'll go looking. Briars. Now, hot up here. No breeze. What were we looking for? Alright, we went north 780 varas to Stone Mound. Thence east 160 varas, Stone Mound, from which a post oak bears south 20 west 1 vara. Alright, so East. That's east. 160 varas is the other stone mound with the witness tree. This one doesn't have a witness tree, it's just a stone mound. You can see the stones that are around here. That's going to be a little big to carry around. But they'd have this probably be like this right here, where they can move it around. It's got this patina on it. And but you would look for something that's kind of out of the normal, you know, like a group of 5 or 6 of them together, stacked up. Being as old as they are, they may not be stacked up anymore, but they should be in a grouping. So we're going to look around, kind of create a radius here, search radius, just look for rocks that are out of the normal. Makes it harder, the leaves on the ground. I like the one call they had out in Jack County. There's a stone mound on a rock shelf, and that was still existent. The rock shelf was there, and I looked for a pile of stones on top of it, and there they were. Okay, I'm going to go back the other way now. Because the only thing I'm pretty sure we need a variance on is the bearing. Distance-wise, yeah, may give a couple of errors. Either way. Now, if it was down in something like that, it could have gotten washed down or buried up with dirt, silt over the 150 plus years. There's my pole, there's my machete. Sort back here. Get a different angle on how I see things from up here. I don't know what this camera's looking at. Find out when I get back. Cool. Walk back on that ledge in a minute. Trying to find a pile of rocks and a pile of rocks. See, they wouldn't put a huge rock. They would probably hit a rock that they could carry. Also kind of look at the land features, try and figure out why they made a jog here to begin with. There's got to be a reason that they would have jogged it, and my thought is, you know, you're dropping down a hill, maybe they put one on top and then jog it over to where they could go down the hill a little easier. In these areas too, there's no farmers to ask anymore. All the owners here are all fairly new. I'll make it over this kid's cavern here. Continue to look. Ain't that the neatest? Some barbed wire in that tree. Right here. And that scar here. Huh. I was more interested in this, but now I'm interested in this tree. There's barbed wire up in the here, even. The kid's deal. It looks more like a. Get the shelter. Alright. Of course, the witness tree was 1 Vera south 20 west. From the Stone Mound, there's no. I mean, this would be southwest, so it'd be up in that area right there. Well, that was a barbed wire in that tree. And up on a rocky hill, we could do a core sample of the tree. It's not going to grow as fast as it would if it was down there in that bottom area where we started out. On the creek where we got, you know, ample water supply. Now I haven't gone 160 Veras from our setup. Maybe more over, maybe halfway there. Briars are getting thick. I have to make noises too, scare off the hogs. So talking on this podcast is a good thing. Skirt these rocks. Tie my shoe again. I wear lace-up boots because my ankles are so bad. There's an old tree that is fallen. I'll get up on this rock here. Gosh, there's no telling where it fell from. I'm finding a needle in a haystack right now. guess what I can do is mark that location over there and navigate over here. Give me a better location. This time I'm going to kind of skirt up the hill and around. And people wonder why this takes so long to do these things. It's not like typical boundary surveying. Okay. Now, off we go again. That tree that had the barbed wire in it was over there. That's that crevice. It's like on the pulpit rock in Norway. You got little crevices of rocks just barely hanging on. There's two rocks similar in size right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this and just pretend like it's it. See here, distance 2168, 180, 2168, 3, 179.48. We're going to call this a stone. We'll navigate from it. Now this isn't anything like the hills in the hill country of Texas and central Texas. But my gosh, I'm out of shape. Okay, so from here I want to navigate 160 varas over east of here. I didn't bring my pencil. Let's see, escape. But I do have this somewhere. Makes it easier. Alright, so favorites, calculator, 160.36 divide is 444 feet. Okay, so that way, 144 feet.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode and learned that, you know, what we look for is sometimes out of the normal. Sometimes it's difficult and requires some thought process, some thinking that is a little beyond what we typically do today. You know, not looking for iron rods. We're looking for stone mounds. We're looking for witness trees. You know, in places that probably never were occupied, or the occupation is long gone, and that the corners may be there. But all in all, that's kind of a thought process when you're looking for original monuments. You have to have some search area identified either by terrain features, other original monuments or perpetuated monuments in the distance called for in the deeds. the assumption you take in the field is that the surveyor went where he said he went in those field notes. And we do that, and we create that search area, try and, just go around, put your feet on the ground, look for those stones, whether they be still piled up or they could be kind of scattered around. But if you know your area, you know the surveyor and the history of the way that he set those rocks, then you can kind of identify something that would fit. And sometimes it's clear that those were the monuments that were originally set, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes the monuments are scattered around, they're flattened out on the ground, sunken into the soil, or the soil gathers up around it. Sometimes the stones were at an easy access to be used to prop up fence posts, or maybe they were in the way and they got moved out to the side. So we get an area, we identify what we think may be it, we tie it in, get a location on it, bring it back to the office, do some calculations, and see how it fits with the other corners that we were able to identify, original or perpetuated. And then we move on to the next one. We try and disprove what we found, and if we can't disprove it, and we feel fairly confident that that's the corner, we hold it and say that that was it. So in the next episode coming up after this one, we'll be going through to identify trees. A witness tree that was called for that was 160 varas east of the rocks that we found in this area, and we have a cut tree that we looked at to count the rings to see the age. It was in a similar area on the rocky hill where the tree probably wouldn't have grown as quickly as it would have down into a creek basin. So in the next week or so we'll have that next episode out, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along with that one as well. I appreciate the comments so far on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, supporting the efforts that I'm trying to make in educating the public on surveying, and that it is a profession. So far what we've been able to show you is what we do in the field, and granted, that's not everything that we do. Hopefully future episodes I'll show you how we do our research in courthouses, Texas General Land Office, and what we do on the computers today with the calculations, the drafting, and old school methods of drafting and calculations and stuff like that. Hopefully I can make those in the future episodes. Thank you for going with me today, and we'll see you in the next episode.